Oh my god! Is Tumblr.com gonna allow pornography again? Well, let's see what they actually said. So, new community labels policy explained. So they're coming out with like this new feature that I guess helps people sort things better in the community rather than just relying on the old tag system. So here's what this article says. From this week, users can add a community label to their posts, including to those they have already published. Some examples where users may want to add the new label includes fan art that features people engaging in a very private moment, euphoria gifs showing substance abuse, a movie trailer depicting graphic war scenes, a graphic 50 Shades of Grey edit. I don't know who is still making 50 Shades of Grey edits, but you know, I guess there's a community for everyone out there. So then if we go to the source themselves, it says how does it work. When creating a new post, you can label it whatever. In your content UC settings, you can now choose to show, blur, or hide content that depicts the following topics: drug and alcohol addiction, violence, or sexual themes. And under sexual themes, it says contains sexually suggestive subject matter, such as erotic writing or imagery. So let's get a little bit more specific. Alright, this person, CJ Knight, has made a nifty little thread explaining the nuances of this new update. And they say, sexual themes is a word that's commonly used in films and games. According to ESRB ratings, it is references to sex or sexuality and content as being non-explicit depictions of sex, including partial nudity. But now partial nudity is not allowed in Tumblr's terms of service. So are they bringing that back? Well, probably not. So then in this next tweet, CJ goes on to say, and the CERO rating says sexual content covers anything from the depiction of sex to kissing and embracing. Hardly sexual, I would say, but alright. Looking at these definitions and the TOS, I'm starting to think a private moment means fade to black, sex, and no boob nudity. I think that is probably a safe assumption. So then they go on to say, so no, erotic authors / illustrators and sex workers still don't seem to be able to post on Tumblr. In addition to this, Tumblr staff reserves the right to manually add community labels based on their description. These moderator labels cannot be removed. Now, famously, you know, historically, back down deep in the Tumblr textbooks of time, this has clearly been a feature that has only ever worked out fantastic. You know, when the Tumblr staff team goes in and they mark stuff as being potentially not safe for work, they only managed to purge about 50% of the goddamn website back when they first banned pornography. That's right, posts left and right on Tumblr, harmless things like a picture of a kitten on it, alright, could end up getting flagged as not safe for work, and that would be permanently hidden on the platform. It was so dumb. It was so bad. So I can only imagine what this is gonna end up being like. Well, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. But yeah, just to recap, Tumblr staff hinted at a return of partial nudity. According to their TOS, Tumblr doesn't allow explicit content. Community labels are tags that demonetize, and there is an option to suggest community labels, but this is not visible to the OP, but reports to the mods. There you go. Considering how horrendously Tumblr is doing and the fact that it's pretty much a dead website, I think it would actually be in their best interest to bring back pornography. I never used the website for that purpose, and to this day, I actually do still use Tumblr. I love looking at very aesthetic images. It's basically like a lesser version of Pinterest for me. And I use Pinterest as well. I just like looking at pretty pictures. But I don't know. I'm very curious. What would you, how would you feel about it? Would you come back to Tumblr if you ever did use Tumblr? Would you consider joining Tumblr if they allowed pornography? I'm curious. I'm really curious. I'm curious if they're also actually like hinting at easing up on the restrictions. Right now, Tumblr is extremely strict. They do not allow like anything that's even like a slightly bit of lewd. They do not allow any of that. So I'm curious. They would end up having to get taken off of the Apple App Store, but you know, maybe that's what the community labels are for. Maybe when you mark a post with the sexual themes community label, maybe it won't be visible to people who are on the iPhone App Store, similar to how Discord's Not Safe for Work channels don't appear. I don't know. We'll see. I'm really curious to see how this pans out. But anyways, my name's Pipkin Pippa. Click that little end card if you want to see today's stream and Thank you so much for stopping by. Be sure to hit the subscribe button up